Okay, so for this practice, let's get started in a seated position. So, whatever that seat means for you, as you've heard me talk many times before about my deciphering of what an easy seat Sukhasana looks like. So, to me, I mean, this is Sukhasana traditionally, but whatever is comfortable for you. So, whatever that means, extending your legs, maybe just one leg sitting on your knees, whatever that is. And we'll find that seat. So that tall seat, though, where you are, closing the windows of the eyes, allowing the palms to rest on the knees or the thighs, palms face down, which I think is needed for a lot of us these days. Palms face down is for grounding, for settling, for coming into tune with our bodies. Take the shoulders, awareness of the shoulders, and allow them to drop a little bit deeper or heavier down to the ground. And then imagining that I am reaching through this screen and I'm able to tug at the crown of your head, almost like an imaginary string I've got at the crown of your head, and just gently pulling at that string to lengthen the crown of the head all the way down your neck, down each and every vertebra, down to the earth. And then drop your awareness to your breath. So your inhales coming in like waves, and your exhales going out like the waves of an ocean. And all we're doing is observing. So there is nothing you have to do, nothing, or anywhere I should say that you should have to be right now, but here with your breath. And then drop your awareness a little bit deeper from wherever your breath is moving your body down to your tailbone. And then imagine there is an anchor attached to a long chain from your tailbone. And that anchor is making its way through the ground below you. That anchor is starting to pull the weight of your body even further down, sinking down as the anchor makes its way through rock, through the layers of the earth below you. Keep following that anchor, that chain, as eventually it penetrates so deep down into the ground that it reaches the earth's center. So that crystalline center. And it attaches itself there. Maybe just noticing that your body is almost melting or settling more into the ground with that visualization. So truly connecting with that anchor, grounding. Now, if this is a visualization that resonates with you, as we go through our practice, if you notice that your mind is wandering, and it will, maybe coming back to that anchor, that imagery of rooting and grounding down again. Let's take a couple more gentle breaths here. And then on your own time, when you blink your eyes open, maybe look down to the floor first to slowly bring your gaze back into your space. So very gently taking a bunch of blinks with the eyes. Okay, maybe a smile. And then we have been sitting here for a few minutes. So extend the legs. Okay, give them a good shake and maybe a windshield wiper back and forth of the feet. Yeah. And then take both legs out to the sides to straddle pose. Okay. So either at the front of the mat as you are right now, or maybe like I am here with the length of your mat. Depends on if you'd like to see me as well with the video. So just whatever is more comfortable for you. And then as our legs go out to the sides, okay, we always want with long straight legs, we still want softness in the knees, in the kneecap. So without locking the knees, right? Feet are flexed. And then take the hands to the insides of the legs and very gently, slowly but surely, walk the fingertips out towards me, my voice, just out towards or away from the body as the chin tucks in towards your chest. Dropping the shoulders down and taking some breaths here. Maybe even rocking the head side to side so the chin gently goes from one shoulder to the other. And then find stillness through center with the head. And then very slowly, like you came out, come back out of the pose, or when you came into the pose, start to walk your hands back in towards your body, and we'll slowly round back up or rise back up. The shoulders go back a few times just to rotate them back. Okay. And then take the left leg, bring it in, and then take the right leg and bring it back behind you. So bend the right leg behind you. The left foot comes to the inner right thigh, right? And then we'll take our whole torso and bring it over towards that left thigh, and then start to lower our torsos over the left leg, okay? Arms can come out here. You can stay here for a few breaths, or you can start to walk your hands back towards the left, so behind you. And that might give you just a little bit more of a stretch there, as far back as you'd like. The head comes down towards the ground. Once again, we find our breath. Maybe the belly is pressing into the thigh as you breathe in, and exhaling belly to spine. If you've got your hands more back behind you, walk your hands to where they began. So towards the right again, over top of that left leg. And then bring your hands in towards you. Press yourselves back up. Stay looking over towards the left because we'll take our right hand now to the outside of the left thigh for a twist. Okay, left hand goes back behind us, really close to the body, props ourselves up. Inhale and exhale to twist, looking over the left shoulder. One more inhale here, send it deep. Exhale, come out of the twist. So come back through center, maybe coming over to that left thigh for support. Bring the right leg out first, then the left, and we'll find the opposite side. Okay, so this time take the left leg back behind you. Right foot comes to the inner left leg, right, or left thigh, and we'll twist over or just kind of bring our torso over towards the right this time. Okay, and then start to lie over top of that right thigh. Arms come out. We can stay here, right? Forehead down, or walk the hands towards the right. So back behind you. And forehead is soft. Facial muscles are soft. And just like with the other side, bring your hands back through center. So we're now right over top of that right thigh and knee, and then walk the hands back in towards you, pressing back up, right? Staying looking over towards the right a bit more. Left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh or knee. The right hand goes back behind you. Nice and tall inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. One more inhale here. Stay tall. Exhale, come back through center. Take both legs out in front of you. Okay, give them one more little shake off here, maybe flip-flopping of the feet again, and then come all the way over onto hands and knees. Okay, so instead of our cat-cows traditionally with our wrists under the shoulders, right, in tabletop, I want you to replace your wrists, replace them with your elbows. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders this time. Pancake your hands down. The knees are still under the hips. Keep the toes tucked. And find a few cat-cows here. Okay, so on the inhale, lift the heart to the shoulders, tailbone goes up. And on the exhale, squeezing in, maybe feeling a bit more in the shoulders here on the exhale, right? Belly to spine. Keep going to the rhythm of your own breath here. Maybe noticing audible breath, or what's also called ujjayi breath or ocean sounding breath, right? So it's that inhale through the nose, that kind of sound like sucking through a straw, and then exhale through the nose. Nice cleansing breaths, just a couple more. Wherever you are, complete your last or your next exhale. Come back to neutral in this pose, okay? Stay here with the elbows under the shoulders. Lift the right knee up and then extend the right leg all the way back behind you. Okay, so we're just gonna hover here for just a second. And then we're gonna bend the right knee and take the right knee towards you to the side. Okay, so as the right knee comes to the side, it's kind of like, you know, a dog doing its business on a fire hydrant, right? So the knee is in a 90-degree angle, the leg, I should say, is a 90-degree angle, and then press that leg back again. And again, bend the right knee, bring it to the side. Okay, and again, extend the right leg back. One more time, exhale, knee to the side. And then bring the right knee back down to the floor. Okay, we're gonna do the other side here. So stay nice and strong. We're gonna be here just a little bit longer. Left knee, left leg extends back. And on the exhale, bring the left knee to the side, right? Like you wanna bring it towards our armpit. And then extend that leg again. Inhale, leg goes back. Exhale, left knee to the side towards your armpit. One more time, inhale, left leg goes back. Exhale, last time, knee to armpit to the side, and then lower the left knee. Find your child's pose. So the knees come to the width of the mat, untuck the toes, sink back for a sec. So just find that extension in the arms. Relax the fingertips, the wrists. Take one more deep inhalation to the belly. Maybe exhale at the mouth this time. And then rise back up, this time 2 hands and knees, because you want to come into downward dog. So the wrists come a bit in front of the shoulders, spread those fingers, hips wide, lift up the knees, exhale, shift and sink back. Yeah, so maybe walking this out a bit more here so we can get our hamstrings warmed up a bit. Great, and then finding some sweet, sweet stillness. Once again, fingertips spread wide, they're bright, they're active. Yeah. And then switching your gaze from your toes to your fingers and take as many steps forward as you'd like to your forward fold. So Uttanasana, feet hip distance. Really dangle, get heavy here with the torso. It's okay to bend the knees slightly. Let go of any breath that's been held. And then find stillness for a sec. Inhale, halfway lifting, so the hands come up the shins, maybe flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And then let's ragdoll to stand. So bend the knees quite a bit, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, slowly round up. Arms are still heavy. Right, once we're up, nice and tall. Yes, take the shoulders back a few times. And then find this Tadasana. Sometimes I say like, ta-da, okay, I'm standing. Ta-da, Tadasana, mountain pose, feet under hips, open palms, close the eyes for a sec. And then if that visualization of the anchor down towards the center of the earth was beneficial, maybe just bringing that into your mind's eye now. So now that we're standing, feel your feet. Maybe the anchor actually is not from your tailbone anymore. Maybe it's from your feet. Right? Connecting, grounding down. And then on the inhale, rise the arms up overhead, open up the eyes. Exhale, palms to the heart center at prayer. We'll do that one more time. Sweep the arms up in a circle, bring them up overhead. And again, palms to heart center, exhale. This time, bring the arms up, inhale. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. So letting it go. Back to that halfway lift. So inhale, halfway, activate the abs to the spine. Exhale, release. Okay, take a big step back with the left foot to warrior two. So with warrior two, we want the front foot in line with the middle of the back foot. As we bring our arms up, palms facing down, this is a big open hip pose, right? Front knees over the ankle, extend the arms, palms facing down. Pause here for a sec. Right? And then flip the front palm, the right palm up to the ceiling, and then extend the left arm over your head towards the front of the mat. So now both arms are extending forward, right? And palms are facing one another. So side angle pose, right? Strong in the core here to keep our torso lifted. Take a few breaths. And then take the right forearm down to the front thigh to rest and extend even more throughout those left fingertips. Yeah. So left fingertips are pointing away from the outside edge of the left foot, the back foot. Stay here with the right forearm, but this time take the left arm back behind you. So behind your low waist, okay? You can stay here. Few options, okay? Just going to give them totally up to you. You can stay here. Maybe you take your right hand down to the earth just in front, or so I should say, sorry, on the inside of the right foot, the front foot. Maybe you stay here. Our shoulders are still open, right? Or it's been a while since I've done this myself, okay? Maybe you take your right arm underneath the right leg and you bind the hands behind you. Okay. Now I only want you to do that if you can still peel open the shoulders and we're not collapsing forward in that left shoulder. Okay. Otherwise, all those levels there to choose from, right? Okay. Start to pick up the right forearm, bring it back on the right thigh, coming back out the same way we came in. Extend the left arm up. Lift up the torso, strengthen the abs, bring the arms out in front of you. Parallel arms, and then inhale, bring the torso back up. Exhale, back to warrior two wings, palms facing down. Now windmill your hands onto either side of the front foot. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. Runner's lunge, step back, downward facing dog. And just take a sec or two here. Settle back into the feet, both feet. And then look forward towards your hands. This time shift forward to plank pose or hands and knees. And then make your way down to your bellies. Untuck all 10 toes. Hands stay underneath your shoulders. Elbows into the rib cage. Cobra pose. Inhale. Heart lifts. Shoulders are down. Neck is long. Exhale. Lower your hearts. One more just like that. Inhale. Hearts up. Maybe a bit of a bigger back bend if you'd like. Exhale, lower. Tuck all 10 toes. Find your downward dog on your own time. Shifting back. Again, finding your breath. All right, take one or two more breaths here. And then rise your left leg to the sky. Three-legged dog. Okay, practicing this transition of shifting forward to three-legged plank, hollowing out the belly around the spine, left knee to chest, big step forward, lifting left hand if you need to get that foot forward, and then lower the back foot down. So warrior two other side, right? Windmill your arms up. Okay, take a second here just to line up the front foot with the middle of the back foot and settling into all four corners of both feet. Right? Maybe imagining that anchor again. Anchor down. And then flip the front palm to face up. Okay, we're coming into side angle. Start to reach forward so the torso comes forward. Right arm comes over your ear so both arms are parallel. Palms are facing one another. Reaching. But still feel that integrity, like I said before, of the back foot into the earth, right? Still rooting down there. Yeah. And now take the left forearm onto the front thigh. So you can just rest there for a sec as you extend the right arm even more so over the ear. Breathing there. Okay, this is where we have a little bit more fun. So we can stay here or take the top hand back behind us to loop or tuck into the low back. And then maybe the left hand comes to the inside of the left foot onto the mat. Maybe we stay here, really being aware of that right top shoulder as to not collapse. Maybe we bind. Okay, so remembering to keep that front knee bent over the ankle. Maybe that left hand comes underneath us. Just got a little crack there. Maybe we bind our fingers. Maybe we don't. And remember, some pops and cracks can be fairly normal. We just do not want to feel pain, right? If you're feeling pain coming out of the pose, keep breathing. Start to rise the right arm up, the top hand up over your head. And then we'll start to bring the left forearm on the thigh. Okay, extend right arm over the ear. And then coming out of this completely with both arms parallel, extending, side angle pose. Really firming up the belly to inhale to lift the torso back up. Exhale, palms facing down, warrior two wings. Okay, where we began. Take a few breaths. And then windmill your hands onto either side of the front foot. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. And this time step forward. So big step forward, forward fold. Maybe take opposite elbows here. Dangling. Breathing. And then release your arms if you've held or held your elbows. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fall forward fold. This time rooting to rise. So reverse swan dive, sweep arms up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, palms to the heart. Okay, inhale, reach it up again. But exhale, stay here with the arms lifted. Okay, shoulders plug into their sockets. Maybe elbows do too. Plug into their sockets. And then with the palms facing one another, look up between your hands like you're holding a gigantic beach ball. Let's just imagine it's summer again, above your head. And if your neck feels okay, start to look up a little bit more and start to find a tiny back bend. You can always look forward here too, even as you're back bending. Okay, so the hands are going back behind you a little bit. On the exhale, come back through center, nice and tall. Palms to the heart. Okie dokes. A little bit of tree pose here. Okay, we're gonna mix a few things into this practice. Feet under hips, correct? Spread the toes wide. Start to bring the weight into the right leg, right foot first. Find your drishti point, AKA your focal point in front of you, something that's not moving. Weight goes into the right foot as you pick up the left foot. Bring the left sole of the foot to the inside of the right leg, either the shin or the thigh, trying to bypass that knee joint, right? Nice open hip to the side. Find your breath. And then maybe rise your arms up overhead like we just did. Okay, I'm gonna challenge you a little bit here. I was foreshadowing a tiny bit before. So maybe you switch your gaze from your drishti point in front of you to up above you between your hands, like that big beach ball, imagining you're holding that ball above your head. Okay, you can stay here or maybe find a tiny back bend here in tree pose. You can look forward again if you'd like. Come back through center with a tall spine, looking forward, palms to the heart. Okay, keeping that left leg lifted if you can. Bring the left knee to hip height. So take the foot off from inside the thigh. The foot is flexed, right? And then push that left leg back into warrior three. So that is our warrior. That is a balancing pose. Hips are square. Left foot is flexed back behind us and our palms are at prayer position on our chest. I'm glad I had the wall there for a second. Looking down to the floor. And then take a big step back, a step of faith back into a lunge. So lower the back foot down, the back sole of the foot. So either a high lunge or we can lower the back knee. Your choice, 100%. Okay, so in your lunge here, front knees over the ankle always, and breathe. Okay, either high or low lunge, left hand to the inside of the front foot, what am I trying to say? Front foot, either fingertips or the palm of the hand, right arm comes up, so we're stacking our shoulders. We're breathing in this twist. Let's lower the right hand down to the floor. Okay, and actually just step forward. So simply step the left foot forward, making sure our feet come back under the hips. Dangle here. Just feeling out that little sequence. Inhale halfway, shoulders back. Exhale, come down. Rooting into the feet, anchoring down, reaching arms up to sweep up to standing. Inhale. Exhale, palms to the heart. All right, are you ready for the other side? Right, so other side, left leg gets the weight of the body, right? So feet hip distance, spread the toes, palms to the heart, looking forward, lifting the right foot up off the floor. Even if the right toes are still on the ground, that's fine. Right knee out to the side, finding your height of tree. Right, settling in, anchoring into the left foot, and then maybe rising the hands above the head. And again, that imaginary beach ball up above your head, that light and bright beach ball. Maybe switching the gaze from forward to up above between the hands. Oh, and I'm having some funky balancing issues here myself. And then perhaps find a little mini back bend. And with your back bend, if it feels better for your neck, you might look forward. Right? Staying lifted, staying tall. Exhale, palms to the heart center, long straight spine again. Picking up the right foot from the inner left thigh so that it actually comes forward now. So the right knee is bent, foot is flexed, pushing back to warrior three. So pushing back like we're flying here now, right? Left foot is still anchored onto the ground. Maybe the palms are to heart center at prayer, hips are square. Taking a long, deep breath here. Exhale to step all the way to the back of your mat into a lunge. Yes, touching down feels good, right? Lower the back knee if you'd like, or keep it raised. Front knee over the ankle, right? Squeezing into the midline of the body with the hips all the way up to the belly for this lunge. And then take the right hand down to the inside of the left foot. Rise left arm up. Once again, stacking shoulders. Looking up or down. And then on the next exhale, sweep the left hand down, frame the front foot, but this time step back to downward dog. Yeah, so sinking back. Taking some sweet, sweet breaths. Switching your gaze from your feet to your hands and shift forward to plank. You can pause here. You can lower the knees if you'd like, because we're coming all the way down to the ground now. Untuck the toes, this time to Sphinx pose. So back to the forearms, which we did before in that modified tabletop, right? So elbows underneath shoulders, pancake the hands, lift the chest, the heart up, the head up. Exhale, pause here. And then keeping the arms exactly where they are, I just want you to tuck your chin to your chest, just gently. And keep breathing here. Lift your head back up. On the exhale, splay the elbows out to the sides. Take one hand on top of the other. Rest your lovely heads down. Doesn't matter which cheek is down. Bend both knees. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Just a few times. Okay, come back through center with the legs. Extend the legs back behind you. Tuck your hands back under shoulders. Remember, elbows are in. Tuck your toes. Downward dog. Shifting back. Take a second here. Then rising your right leg up towards the ceiling. Looking forward, take a big step forward and through. Okay, I do want you to lower the back knee this time. Alrighty, so a nice big juicy stretch for that front hip flexor, the left hip flexor, I should say, the back one. So take the hands to the inside of the front foot. Okay, and what you've probably heard me before say in this pose, the more you bring the back leg back, the more of that stretch you're going to feel. So you get to choose here, play around. And then walk the right foot out to the edge of the mat, so out to the side. Okay, you can stay here, or always love that word, right? Or take the right foot out to the side. Hopefully you can see that there, into like a 9 or a 45-degree angle. And then take the knee out maybe to the side, so we're onto the outside of the right foot. Always making sure the right foot is flexed. You can pause here. One more or you can take the left hand to the outside of the mat, and the right hand will be placed gently on the right knee as we look down towards the left hand, and just nice and easy, not putting too much pressure on the right knee, just gently coaxing it away from the body and breathing. Breathing into that right hip and breathing into the left hip flexor. Let's come back through center so we can come back on the sole of the right foot. Bring both hands on the floor onto the mat. Walk the right foot in towards you. Take your hands on either side of the right foot. Bring the back knee in a bit. Tuck the back toes under. Charge up that back leg. So lift the back knee up. And then step forward. Okay, so we're coming back through that forward fold, that anchoring of the feet down. Maybe a little shake or nod of the head back and forth or side to side. Inhale for just one little halfway lift. Exhale to release. And we'll go right into the other side. So take a big step back with the right foot. Lower the back knee down, that right leg down, or the knee. Take the hands to the inside of the front foot and walk the left foot out to the side. So once again, deciding between the stance between the legs. So the back leg goes back as far as you'd like. Okay, come on to that 45-degree angle of the left foot out to the side. And then start to bring the left knee out to the side just a bit, perhaps onto the outside of the left foot, right? Pausing here and staying. Or the right hand comes towards the outside of the mat for a wider stance. Left hand onto the left knee, pressing away gently and looking down to the right. So many things, juicy things going on here in the body. And breathing on this side. Let's start to lift up our heads. Okay, onto the sole of the left foot we go. Hands come back onto the mat. Walk the left foot in. Okay, hands start to frame the left foot. Bring the back knee in a bit, the right knee in. So as the hands come down to the floor, tuck the back toes under, lift the right knee, the back knee up, and step back to downward dog. Taking your time here for your breath. And then lower your knees down to the mat. We're going to do one more thing on our forearms, okay? So coming back onto our forearms, once again, lining up elbows underneath shoulders, very important there. Palms pancake down. So you can decide to have the palms down here. We're actually coming into a modified downward dog, which is actually called dolphin pose. Or you can bring just the hands together like so, elbows stay where they are, and clasp your fingers to make a fist instead. So just decide, what maybe feels better for the shoulders and the wrists. Well, the wrists are pretty relaxed. They're not relaxed here, but they're nice and long. Toes are tucked under, right? And then lift up the knees. Okay, so dolphin pose, even though our elbows are stationary, we want to feel like we're squeezing in our arms a bit towards the midline of the body, so you have a strong sense of those shoulders. The head is relaxed. Okay, maybe walk the feet in towards you a little more, so just as much as you'd like to. Bend the knees quite a lot if you need to. And then exhale to lower the knees down just for a second, see how that felt. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Once again, maybe try it with clasped fingers this time. See how that feels, right, in comparison. So once again, elbows under shoulders. Take those knees back a little bit. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, lift. Exhale here to walk the toes in a bit more. Right, and we're still pressing back towards the heels. And exhale, lower the knees. Untuck your toes, find your child's pose. Okay, so again, knees out to the sides. Letting go of the arms completely. And then just take a couple more breaths here. Start to rise up onto hands and knees. And one more thing here before we come to our seats, okay? So from hands and knees here, take your right hand out to the side, lengthen it out, and then wrap the right arm under the left. So loop it under just to rest onto the outside of that right shoulder. Head is down onto the mat. Maybe we stay here with the left hand supporting ourselves on the floor, or maybe we take the left arm behind the low back. Your choice. But no matter what, we don't want to crane the neck up. We want to keep the head on the floor, right? Cradled by the ground. And then with the left fingertips back on the floor, press into the mat to lift back up, and we'll do the other side. So right hand on the mat, left arm goes out to the side, reaching, and then looping the left arm under the right. Staying here or taking the right arm behind your low back. Take your right hand back on the mat so we can press up with that hand, lift back up onto all fours, and find our seats. Yes. Okay. So from our seats, we're coming right back to our back bodies here. Okay. So shifting forward towards the front of your mats. Alrighty. And just before we lie back down, when it is time for your Shavasana, you might want something there for you, some props, some things that are hanging around your house, pillows or blankets, right? Socks, a sip of water, anything like that. And then when you're ready, hands on the knees, Tuck the chin to the chest as the belly starts to hollow when we round the spine. We slowly but surely lie back down. Okay, so extend the body out completely on the mat. Use all four corners of your mat. Bring your arms over your heads. Point your toes. Give yourself a huge body stretch. And then let it go. Hug both knees in towards you. Give yourself a squeeze. Rock side to side. And then come back through center, keeping your knees in towards your body, but take your arms out like wings, palms facing down, or cactus your arms for your twist, okay? And actually, even before you bring the knees to one side or the other, maybe take the feet down to the floor first, and then shift your hips to the right first, and then bring your knees down to the left. Okay, that might help just a little bit. And then take your left hand on top of your knees and stay here or look over your right shoulder. Finding a softening of these poses instead of a strengthening. So, like a melting into the mat. More of a heaviness or connection to the ground again. Take your left hand on the floor for support, or cactusing your arm, your head through center, your knees back through center. Realign your hips, okay, feet on the floor, and then take your hips to the left maybe as you drop your knees to the right. And your hand comes on your legs, your right hand, and you might look over the left shoulder this time. Couple more breaths here. Start to roll your head back through that center position. And then take the right hand on the earth for support as you bring your knees through center. Realign those hips again back on the mat. Squeeze the knees in one more time. Rock side to side, and maybe, just maybe, coming into a happy baby. So, well, that rhymed. Take the arms to the insides of the legs. The knees are still bent. The feet can take hold of the ankles or maybe the outsides of the feet, maybe the shins, just wherever you can reach there. Feet are flexed. Knees are bent in towards the earth, 90-degree angle, rock side to side, perhaps. Really feeling that flattening of the low back as we do this. So like really connecting through the low back, massaging the mid back too. Come back through center and stillness, and then lengthen your body out for that treat of Shavasana. right? So taking your feet to allow them to flop naturally away from one another. So just allowing that to happen without trying to force your feet together or hold them together, let them go. Either your arms on either sides of your body, palms facing up, or your palms resting on your belly. And with your eyes softly closed, or your gaze might be open and eyes are just soft, up to you. Start to ride the waves of your breath again. Start to, with every exhale, maybe making a connection a little bit more with the ground beneath you, to surrender and connect with the ground, simply breath by breath by breath. begin to bring awareness back to the space that surrounds your body. Maybe start to rock your head gently side to side. And then wiggle your fingertips and toes to bring more movement back. Maybe rotating your ankles or your wrists around in one direction than the other. Taking your arms up overhead in an even bigger stretch, pointing toes away from fingers. And releasing all four limbs again. Hugging knees back into your chest, really tight squeeze, a rock side to side. And maybe as you rock side to side, you even lift your head up towards your knees to really squeeze into this tight ball as you rock side to side. And then lower your heads gently and eventually roll to one side or the other in that fetal position as you rest your head on your arm for a moment. And then pressing all the way up to a seat of your choice, your choosing. Keeping your eyes closed just a little longer. And once we're nice and tall, bring the hands into your heart center at Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Bowing our heads to our fingertips and our hearts. Feeling and filling kindness in our hearts. As really we bow and salute, what I'd like to say tonight is just thinking again about the frontline workers throughout this pandemic. I was just thinking about them again. So frontline workers and first responders. So just giving our thanks and gratitude and love and kindness out there to all of them. And thank you for joining me, making the time for you and nourishing yourselves in this beautiful way. Namaste.